Hey there, David Gordon from TheaterMania here. It's Monday, November 9th. Uh, Boy, I feel like it was just October and last week long. Uh, I'm here with Gianmarco Soresi, wonderful comedian, new special on Amazon called Shelf Life. It is extremely, extremely funny.
Thank you.
And hi, thank you for talking to me.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me, for the people watching this, tell us what Shelf Life is.
So I'm a stand-up comedian with a theater background, and Shelf Life is after everything shut down in mid-March. I did a lot of Zoom shows and eventually outdoor shows and rooftop shows and drive-in shows, and I somehow was able to get like a solid half hour of new stand-up material, and I filmed it outdoors in Brooklyn for a socially distanced audience of 25, including the crew. Yeah, it's kind of it starts with a little bit of a documentary about what it was like doing that and creating new stuff with very limited stage time and very unusual arenas. And then it ends with this special. And I called it Shelf Life because I tried to really write for this moment. I say in the special, it feels very difficult to write new stuff now because everything's changing. So
it really does. And I can imagine that, like, as a comedian, you're having to, like, update your material every day based on some of the stuff that happens in the world these days, I would imagine.
Sure. Well, I think it's like a lot of times it depends on like the success of a comedian. Is that you'll see in the beginning, you need to create a material that has a longer shelf life because you might not be on TV in 5 years. You might, but if you're like, Michelle Wolf and you're like, I'm going to be on the Daily Show next week, you can really try to write material for the moment because you're going to get it up there. And I'm not famous. So I had to make a compromise because to talk about like coronavirus right now, it felt weird.
Yeah.
Shows, you'd be like, well, we got to talk about the fact that we're doing this on Zoom and not in person.
Yeah, you can't do a set now and not talk about what's going on in the world.
Yeah, but it's hard because it has to be unique. I did a bunch of shows towards the beginning where they would ask the comedians, and you should never do this, but they ask comedians like, please don't talk about coronavirus. But the reason that they do that is because every comedian gets on and goes, oh, a show I don't have to wear pants for. And they all do it. So you have to move past once jokes start getting made with like in like a regular office setting, like that's when that joke is dead. Yeah. That's a regular people joke now.
When a guy goes into a work meeting and says, you know what, I'm not wearing any pants and I'm proud of it, that's when
yeah.
I guess.
And after the Jeffrey Toobin thing with the New Yorker, I mean, the pants thing is small potatoes.
What made you and your team want to film this?
Honestly, Jacqueline Thrapp, one of my producers, just approached me she was like, I want to film something. And I was hesitant at first because I think in my mind, I'm like, I'd like to get a late night set, Tonight Show, Colbert, and then from there, either get someone to ask me or get a label to ask for an album. So I'm hesitant because the thing with stand-up is it feels like I'm about 5 years in. And especially in the beginning, like after a year passes, you look back on your old self and you're like, he sucked. Those jokes sucked. I'm embarrassed to have them out there in the world.
But you shouldn't feel that way about this because the jokes are like, the set is hysterical. The documentary is really, really interesting.
Yeah, I feel very good, but that's why I was like, okay, these jokes, I do think they're at a place where I won't be ashamed. And it was just a matter of some people were smart in that when things got shut down, they wrote a pilot, they wrote a screenplay, but I really just kept writing jokes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this is what you have to do with them. You have to take it to that next level.
You, in the documentary portion of this, we see a lot of footage of you performing outside on a truck bed, getting shut down by cops, performing in a park. Well, first of all, how terribly dispiriting is the idea of performing outside?
I will say this, because I went to college for musical theater. Oftentimes actors in the stand-up world, there's a little bit of like, oh, great, another actor is going into stand-up comedy to get a TV pilot. But when we were outside and the mic doesn't work and people are spread out, I mean, that is what I was made for.
Yeah.
I've been called, there was one club that didn't pass me and they said I was too one-man show. And really? When you're performing in Central Park, you need a one-man show.
Yeah.
And so it actually was kind of cool. It just felt like my
It looks like we froze a bit. Bear with us for a moment.
You back?
Well, I'm back. Are you back?
Yeah. Oh, I see you. I see me.
Yeah, I see you.
So I said it's like my theatrical training, which can sometimes in the beginning be a hindrance, or people are like, "Whoa, take it down."
Yeah.
Go for two people in a basement. You're doing a lot, but outdoors, it's like sweet spot.
Was it nice to get back in the groove of performing again when you first started after however long a break you had?
Yeah, the beginning was very scary because someone told me they're like, it's going to feel like, because before this, for the last 3 years before coronavirus, I hadn't gone longer than 2 nights performing in that 3-year span. Mm-hmm. So to take off 3 months and go back, it just felt this terror of like, did it all go away? Did my skills disappear? Will they come back? And even now, on a lucky week, I'm still performing fourth of what I used to. And it's these days, it's now that it's getting cold and there's no more outdoor shows. It's becoming yeah. So it was good, and I'm already scared about what winter is going to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm scared of that too. Who's that playing over here? There's like a toy piano that just spontaneously started playing.
Sure. I turned my toy piano off before, but
yeah, I know. I usually do too. You've been doing a lot of Zoom shows, you said.
A lot.
And you have a lot of funny stories in this about doing Zoom shows.
Yeah, I've done, that's how I've been making money. And I know like winter is coming up and I'm starting to get booked for a lot of office party Zooms.
That's gotta be fun and cool to some degree.
It's fun. If you do an hour on Zoom, though, there's something exhausting. I saw some comedians say basically like, you're seeing people, but you're interacting with an inanimate object.
Right.
So the kind of energy you have to bring to this brick wall in front of you it takes it out of you. So I'm glad to do it. I'm always happy for the work, but sometimes these hour-long family reunion Zoom shows, it's a lot to take on.
I can imagine. What is it like? So this was your first special. And you froze again.
Really?
I hear you, but you're frozen. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just gonna keep going. This was your first special. What was it like for you to like sit down and watch yourself do it? Like, have you like as a stand-up comedian, do you like film your stuff and then go back and watch it like it's like a football play-by-play?
I record audio of everything, and I listen back to the audio. The longer I do it, the more I get a little bit lazier, but I really try to listen every time. Watching is a different beast, though.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and luckily, though, like you get multiple cameras. So if I really hate something, we could go to the back shot or go to an audience shot. So it's tough. It's also like we turn this around so quickly for the ocean.
We're freezing a little bit again, sir.
Oh God, I'm so embarrassed.
You might need to sign out and sign back in.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, try that, and then we'll come. And then we'll.
Okay.
Wait, I see you again. Hang on, I see you.
Great.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Start that again.
No. It is. I listen back to all my sets very consistently. It's good to do, but watching is a different thing. But that's why it was nice to have multiple cameras, because if I ever looked very weird, I could just go to the wide or go to the back shot or go to an audience reaction. But the turnaround time was so quick that we edited this thing in like a week.
Did you really?
And yeah, I mean, our director was also our editor, and he's super fast because he works for CNN. He's a news guy,
Right.
But we would have to. There was one day that I watched the special 8 times because I had to look at the closed captioning and see if anything's timed wrong, and then listen to see if there's any weird street noise. And that, watching yourself that much, it finally broke past. Like, I'm a narcissist, obviously. But it finally reached a point of like, I am sick of hearing me.
That's the thing that broke you, just watching yourself 8 times for the editing process.
Yeah, it took 7 times. I was still good. I was like, this guy's great. But 8 was.
What is it like to go through like the closed captioning of your jokes?
At a certain point when it's this long, you got to just give in. We sent it to a place called Rev. And they closed caption it, but then you got to go back and make some changes. And the people typing it, they're not making sure they get the timing or like let the reveal happen at the right place. So you fix it a little, but at a certain point, you're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, because we watch everything with the closed captioning on just because I like it. And I've seen so many specials where I can't believe I'm talking about this. I've seen so many specials where the punchlines are revealed before the lines are even said.
It happens a lot.
And yours was actually pretty good about that. And I remember saying last night that the jokes weren't ruined with the closed captioning, which is a major accomplishment.
I'm glad. We comedians, especially like at my level, we have to caption so much on our own, like just to get our name out there. And all the Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, the captions help you. But sometimes you spend hours captioning these jokes. And you just start hating the joke, and you don't even want to put it out there. So I'm going to be captioning for a long time. Yeah,
I can imagine. What is your favorite part of having this record out there of both the special, the documentary, and this whole time in your life, basically?
This is such a challenging year, and it's going to be challenging coming back. There was a comedian named Roy Wood Jr. who wrote about, like, even when comedy clubs come back, first, a lot of them have shut down. A lot more are going to shut down. He's basically talking about how everyone would be moving backwards because, like, John Mulaney won't get to do this place because Lady Gaga will be doing it. John Mulaney moves here. Roy Wood Jr. moves here. I'm back here. And having this at least felt like, okay, this is a nightmare for a lot of people in the arts, but I did get something done this year. I got something done that could only be done this year. And it just feels good to go like, you know what? This year actually wasn't terrible for me because I was able to create.
Yeah. Oh, you froze again. No, we're back. Okay, we're good again. Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah.
Where do we leave?
It's nice to know that you were like productive this year. You were saying.
Yeah, I was saying it'll be nice to look back when I don't work for the next 10 years and have to go back to college for an accounting degree. That I did get something at the end of the day.
Marco, thank you for your time.
I appreciate it.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching it.
My pleasure. The special is on Amazon now. It's called Shelf Life. I encourage everybody to watch it. Even though it talks about everything that's going on in the world, it's a nice little respite, and it's really nice to be able to laugh for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Be well. Thank you. And thanks everybody for watching. Take care.